Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to another exciting, inspiring episode of the Talk to Talk podcast brought to you by Hydro Envision Podcast. Yes. So if you're first time of subscribing or you're joining us, you're so much welcome. Just take your seat, take your notepad, sit tight, get your water close to you so you could sip it at some point where you get hydrated, okay? So you don't lose focus, right? So you're very much welcome. And my name is Victoria Hiniti, and absolutely, I'm your host for today's section. And I'm thrilled to have you on board. Yes. All right. So today's episode is titled "The Climate Wake Up." And safeguarding water in a changing environment. What that simply means is, what are the best practices you could safeguard your water in this changing environment? When we talk about climate, what comes to your mind? So it's a wake-up call, not just because we want to talk about it, but because it's a call to action, because it's something that we can neglect and it's actually affecting our environment, right? Okay, so now climate change isn't just a global buzzword. Yes, is a reality that's already impacting our water systems, the ecosystems, and ultimately the lives and the livelihood of millions across the world. Whether you're listening from the Asian part of the continent, or in Africa, or in Europe, Antarctica, climate change has done a whole lot. All right. So today I am not just talking alone. I won't be the one talking and talking, right? So I'll not be talking alone. So we have someone amazing. We have someone in our podcast today, someone who all the way from Pakistan, and we're having him to join us to share remarkable things, to intimate us, to open our eyes to things that we don't know of, and of course, like I said, get a notepad, sit pause, listen, and as well share. Now, before we welcome our speaker, our guest speaker for today, I want you to please do something. Share this podcast. Okay, don't just listen alone. Share to friends, share to communities, organizations, so people get to learn. And of course, I'm telling you, the knowledge you're going to get today is going to save you a whole lot, not just you, but people in your environment, and also the nation at large, and the world at large too as well. All right, so we are honored to be joined by a remarkable voice in the space of climate change and water security, in the person of Dr. Akif Rahim. I beg your pardon if I couldn't pronounce the word well, so he's going to do justice to it when he comes aboard. So he's a researcher and an expert in climate change adaptation from Pakistan. His work spans innovation solutions for sustainable resource management.
at that time, it's as a layman, usually it's seen that okay, 1 degree, 0.5 degree is rise, that it's a very normal temperature. Usually people say that it's not a big change. But when after that I have explained them and present that the 0.5 degree change, how much altered over the water resources in that water system, then he comes to know that yes, the climate change is not just a number, it's beyond the number. So, mean to say that the rising temperature 1 degree and 2 degree, it seems to us is a very small change, but its impact is not so small. It's generate a lot of big impacts on the all aspects of life, not only the water sector, not only in the, especially in the ecosystem, because the world where we are living, we are connected with each other. The water system is important to us. The ecosystem stability is important to us. We are connected. Everyone is connected with each other. If one string is disturbed, then definitely this disturbance trigger to the another strings. It generates, you can say that the disturbance in the other strings, and which can deteriorate not only the ecosystem, not only the water sector, also at everything which is exist on this world or in this globe. Everything is disturbed by changing in a one fact sector. So here, so I would, the rising temperature as very common, everyone is familiar about that. The rising temperature is going to deteriorate over glaciers, reduce the snowpack, and especially alter the rainfall patterns. Especially if I'm talking about the regional perspective, if I'm talking about the Pakistan region, especially in Pakistan, in the last 25 years, we have observed a very erratic pattern of rainfalls. The rainfall pattern is quite changed, especially the region which are declared by the government as these are the dry region, and the region which was declared by the government these are the wet region. It's altered now because the dry region now getting a wetter, and the wetter region is going towards a dry region. So this shift in the shifting of the rainfall pattern in the specific region, which altered the change of the behavior of that people, those are living in that, because the people those are living in a wetter region, they grow agriculture crops according to that their climate, and the person those are living in a dry region, they prepare their mind and they make their memory, or they harvest the crops regarding to the dry climate. But now with the change of this pattern, they need to be change their thoughts. So the climate change is happened now. It is not so far to say that the climate changes will occurred or not. We are now suffering the climate change.
All right.
Now
Thank
it's
you
a
so much, Zach. Yes, I'm sorry I'm going to cut you at this point. Yes, it's
Mhm.
amazing because I want our audience to know to connect the dots with that with the little one they've listened to now, right? So you said something, and actually that is true, and that is amazing. So many people don't believe that when you talk about climate change, they are thinking it happens just at the spark booms and then it's just happened, not knowing that it's the little thing, like you said, the little 2 degrees Celsius, 3 degrees Celsius has huge impact on our
Yes.
environment. Yes, on our environment. So I want our audience to have that. Let it get sink down into our mind, our head, that see the little 2 degrees Celsius today, tomorrow it might be 3 degrees Celsius, tomorrow might be 4 degrees Celsius, has huge impact on our environment. So let's get to know that. Okay, so thank you so much, sir, about that. And of course, you've given us examples of some existing factors that happen in Pakistan, right? So now, to our audience and to everyone listening to us, we want to bring this home. We want to bring this down to the hydrological film, when you talk about water, right? So water is life, but it's becoming increasingly insecure for many. Like our speaker rightly said, today you hear droughts, and it's migrating. There are some aspect of the world that is known for wetlands, but today you find out that the drought is gradually migrating to those aspects of the world that has to do with wetland factors. Right now, water is life, but it's becoming increasingly insecure for many. Yes, many people now, yesterday When I mean yesterday, I mean years ago, they had water in abundance, but now they don't. Farmers are complaining, the irrigation system is looking so tedious because water is no longer abundant the way it should be. Now, what are some of these major risks and challenges community face today in terms of water availability? Right? So I'm throwing this question to you now. So what are some of the major risks? In as much as we've known that climate change has hampered our environment, has hampered our environmental ecosystem. Now, what are some of the major risks and challenges community face today in terms of water availability, access, or quality, especially under a changing climate? Would you say the biggest risks are physical, are policy related, or even cultural? Just throw a light there.
Exactly. You are right. As I said that before that, first of all, it's very important to accept that the climate changes occur now. One of the most important hiddenness, because most of the people still thinking that okay, that is happened, that is a hydrological cycle or climate cycle. Might be this year we have some dry period, and might be possibly the next time we have some wet period. People thought about that, but not the right time. If we don't get our water, that is a problem to us. Of course, that is a cycle. Might be possible in some part of the world where we are facing a huge drought phenomena, but at the same time, there is some region in the world where we are experiencing huge floods, as well as a huge quantum of water is arriving. Like recently, we have heard about that flood of the Texas in US, with a huge floods is arrived, and at the same time, the drought condition is prevailing in Europe. So point is that there is a cycle, of course, from dry to wet and wet to dry. That is a cycle, but the right time, the time shift is very crucial to us, because on the right time, if we don't get a water, and the time when we don't need of water and we have excess of water, both things are disaster to us. So in order, first thing in my point of view is that the people should accept that is climate changes occur now. So now, to move towards the adaptation and to move towards the mitigation. Usually when we talk about the adaptation and the policy point of view, the people think, especially if again I'm going to put some example from the Pakistan or some other region, especially India and Nepal. So here the people usually said that okay, we will build huge dams. Of course, it's a solution. You can prepare some harvesting or dams, you can create these things, but it took time. So my point of view, to mitigate the climate, to mitigate the impact of the climate, we should adopt a nature-based solution at micro level, not a macro level. We should initiate to save the water at small scale, and then with the passage of time, we should need to be upscale it on the higher level. So in this regard, I think the governments of the countries should make their policies and impose some laws on the water saving. And the water saving is not just at the irrigation level, as well as in the household level. We should be familiar about it, because there's no doubt we will face a huge water stress in the world. We will face water will become a very precious, similar to like that of petrol. As a petrol is very precious to us because it's going to decrease in the world. In a similar way, in the upcoming next 20 to 25 years, the water is like another gold, you can say that. So we need to save it, because for the next generation, it is very important to prepare ourselves and to adopt some policies. So in this regard, I think the one most important thing we should do that the awareness amongst the people, to realize them, to advocate them, how to save the water and what is the importance of water. First of all, the most important thing is that to advocacy of that. After that, we should need some very solid policies and very strict laws on those people or on those region of the world where the water is wasting without knowing its importance. So for that purpose, we should need implement some laws and implement some solid strict policies to mitigate the shortage of the water at the global level as well as. And the third, as I said, that we should need to be start to save the water, not only the macro level, from the micro level we have to start. Especially we should start to save the water from our home. From if every person realize that and to start to save the water at their own scale, then I think we can resolve the problem and we can mitigate the water stress in the coming future.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. That was actually amazing. I was coming towards the innovation and solution aspect, which you have talked a whole lot about. But I have this intriguing question I want to ask right now. It's can you share scenarios where you've encountered risks or you've seen risks and challenges community face? Because we want to talk about the problems. We want to express our feelings when it comes to the problem, the current reality that people are facing currently because of what the impact of water, of climate change on water availability. Can you just throw more light on that aspect? The risks or the major risks and challenges, some of those rural communities, probably let's leave those in the urban area, right? So now those in, let's say those in the rural area, those in like call it semi-urban, who are currently facing risks. Can you share some of those risks? What are those challenges? What are the problems going on as a result of the climate change or the hampered nature of the climate change on water availability? Can you just share more? Probably in the farming sector, in the health sector, in the families, in any area. Just throw more light on that aspect.
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges, especially the water stress is one of the biggest, especially for the low-income countries in the world, the countries which are not so much to they are seeing a water now. The climate change impact in the term these, but on the other side, these countries, but most vulnerable in the world. In this regard, one of the most important thing is that the countries should need to be a climate financing. The developed countries should support these low income countries, low developing countries, to prevent the impact of climate change. In the terms of climate financing, in the terms of climate credit, they have to support these people or these countries to these kind of initiate to mitigate the global warming. And so most of the biggest problem the different countries or the people face, that they know about that. If they know about that the climate change is affecting the water shortage and this and that, then they need to some financial support or some capacity building support, and to provide them some technical trainings to them how they can save that. Okay. Once I'm just sharing in the some remote area of the Pakistan, we went there. There's a very we talk about that water saving. The people, I'm very surprised with that people, because they are not so much educated people. But I'm very surprised to hear from that. They admit that yes, we have experienced the water shortage here, but tell us how we can save this water. How we can save that water. So in this regard, the first time I heard to come to know that the people are willing to save the water. The people are very well to, if they are known about the climate change in the terms of their local knowledge, but they want to provide their support in the terms of either in the terms of financial support, either in the terms of some technical supports, or either in the terms of to provide them some latest techniques, such as like that a drip irrigation approach, and some kind of, instead of that they have to use some flooded irrigation. Why not you have to be a sprinkle irrigation? Why not you move towards a drip irrigation? If we taught them and then provide some resources to them, then they are willing to save that water. Because everyone, either they are educated or non-educated person, they all know about the importance of water, because water is life. If the water is disappearing from this world, of course, everyone face that problem. So in this regard, the main challenge is to, number one, as I said, that to educate them, provide advocacy, and also provide some resources to them to not in the terms of, it's not compulsory every time we have to support them in the terms of finance. We also provide some technical things to them, to taught them, teach them how to of know about that, how they can make use of water.
All
So
right,
if
thank
we
you so
can
much.
do this in
Yeah.
this way, we can do that.
All right, thank you so much. That was
Yes,
really
please.
amazing. Yeah, because of our time, that was really amazing, right? So I believe, we like you said, we don't really need. It starts from us, each and every one of us, right? So those in the rural areas, those in the urban area, right? So by the time they get educated, they get exposed to some common things. I believe that with the little literacy that they get, they will be exposed, and they want to do more on how to conserve and preserve their water. And I just hope that someone listening to this podcast today, you will do something by saving. The little knowledge you get today will help you in educating those in your rural areas, right? You've gotten the knowledge now. You don't just keep it to yourself. Go tell them. Go tell the farmers. Go tell those that are facing these challenges. Those that are having this week. Those that you know someone whose duty is he has edged over some persons that can talk to them, that can provide solutions. You tell those in the rural areas how to best preserve their water. The little water is life, sustainability is key. That's one thing I always say. And hopefully we trust that our little impact, our little move and motivation, and our little mitigation will help saving a life or saving people. Thank you so much, sir. All right, so sir, just in 1 minute, can you just tell us, we want to go down to the aspect of policy and global direction. Now let's talk about governance. So what role do you think national policy, global frameworks, or even education play in fostering reactions toward climate adaptation in water sector? You said some few things. Can you just give us little one, two before we leave the section?
Of course, the water governance is one of the most important things, because everything can be achieved. We can fight against the climate change. We can reduce the water stress in the future. But all this can be possible with effective water governance. So in this regard, in order to water govern, we should need a very, very solid action on it, to make a very robust and scientific policies, not just like the idealistic words that yes, we need to save that water. Not only that words, we need some scientific research-based thing, provide a region to region, and then to make some water governance and water policy implemented that. Not only bookish words, we have to follow that, because every region have their own science and their social norms. Because the people, because sometimes we are facing that is the water shortage we are experiencing here in that region, but we also need to include or inclusive action. We require to incorporate the social aspects of that. What is a social problem and what kind of these things are existing in our watershed? By incorporating or integrating their social inclusion, then we make an effective water governance on it. So for the water governance, not only the just bookish word is required for that, it's also need to be equality is one of the most important part of that, because every person have their own needs. So we need to take their opinion as well as to, then we have to define some policies, which part is facing water stress and what kind of social this region is exist. Also keep in mind of water and their facility to access this water by keeping all these things in this kind of make a
I thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
And the what will be possible to. So
thank you so much. So thank you so much. We truly appreciate your little time with us. We truly appreciate because of our time. So thank you so much, Dr. Akif, for sharing your wisdom and your passion. Your
thank
insight
you.
today has painted a clear picture of what is at stake and, more importantly, what we can do. Right. So to our listeners, if this conversation moved you, don't hesitate. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Talk about it. Most importantly, act on it. That's the most reason why we call up for this section. We call for this episode. We don't just want to just keep on talking and talking. We want to see people doing things. We want to see people, saving their water, conserving it, mitigating it, preserving it, and also providing solutions where problems lies at stake. Okay. So climate change is real, but so is our part to protect our planet. Nobody's gonna save it for us. We're gonna do it ourselves. Okay. Until next time, this is Victoria Hinetu. So I'm signing off from Hydro Envision Podcast for today. So stay curious, stay bold, and let's keep envisioning a water secured world. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much, sir, for having us and
you.
having you too as well. But thank you.
Victoria.
All right, so till the next time, thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you so.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Bye bye. Thank you.